This is a short story I wrote a while ago. It's called Coming Home. The escape from the stockade was easier than I thought it would be. The guards had brought in a few new arrivals, and one of them broke free. In the chaos that followed, a stolen set of keys had been passed around, and in just a few minutes we were all free. I was one of the smart ones. I didn't stick around the stockade to take revenge on the jailers, or invade the food stores to gorge myself. As soon as the holding area was open, I ran. I wanted to go home. I didn't know how long I'd been away, holed up in an open-air stockade. I didn't care. I just wanted to go home. The problem was that I hadn't known where home was. Before the purges became common, I'd heard they were building a stockade to the east, so that meant I needed to head back west. I stayed close to the road, but not too close, and used the sun as my compass. I kept that up for 3 days. 3 days of walking, with no food, no rest, and no sleep. There were a few times when I'd see other escapees, but we never traveled together. Apparently all that time together in the stockade had done nothing to instill in us a sense of camaraderie. I only saw a patrol one time. They were driving in one of those big military trucks that's open in the back. The soldiers all knelt there with their guns pointing out. I got the distinct feeling they weren't going to try and capture and bring back any escapee. They'd just gun us down and burn the bodies. On the 4th day I came in sight of my hometown. I waited until nightfall before I went inside and located my house. It didn't look the same as I remembered. I'd had it painted green. I always liked green. Now it was white. Why do people always want to have white houses? What's so great about that color? There was a fence around the house too, and not a friendly-looking picket fence. A metal chain-link fence with outriggers and barbed wire on the top. A lot of houses these days have fences like that, just like back at the stockade. It made me angry. I could tell from the way the lights were moving in the house that the television was on, but I couldn't see anyone inside. The fence didn't stop me. It barely slowed me down. I'm pretty sure that the barbed wire cut me up, but things like that don't bother me anymore. When I got to the front door, I stopped. I could hear voices inside, but I thought they were coming from the TV. I'd finally come home. But was it really home anymore? How long had I been gone? Who was living in my house? Did they know what had happened to me? Was it even my house anymore? I slowly reached out and tried to open the front door. It was locked. I don't know why, but the door being locked infuriated me. This had to still be my house. I bought it with my own money, and I'd never sold it. So whoever was living there now were thieves, or at best, trespassers. I was home and I wanted my house back. I stepped off the porch and back onto the front lawn. I still couldn't see anyone inside through the windows. I moved back to the fence to give myself a running start. The glass shattered as I hurled myself through the big window and rolled into the living room. Someone screamed at the same time the window broke, and they were still screaming when I stood up and saw the young couple that had been sitting on my couch watching my TV. The man came at me. The woman went for a phone. The man might have got in a few hits before I strangled him with my bare hands, but if he did, I didn't notice. I lost sight of the woman during the struggle. I found her hiding in the bathroom. I crushed her skull against the tub. With my house once again in my possession, I made my way back to the living room and sat down in my old recliner. The dead couple hadn't changed the interior very much, and most of my furniture still remained where I remembered it. I started pulling shards of glass out of my arms and abdomen. It didn't hurt. Nothing hurt me anymore. Not since the day I died. A lot of things changed that day. I glanced over my shoulder at the dead man on the floor and wondered if I'd done the right thing. They say that when you die, you lose your sense of right and wrong. I guess they're right. because I had no idea if what I'd done was right or wrong. Murder or reacquisition. I didn't care. They say that's what makes zombies dangerous.